Picture this, you're juggling a carry-on, boarding pass, and medication bag. Your heart skips when the TSA line looms. Will your meds get flagged? What if you forget a rule? Breathe easy. I'm about to walk you through every step so you glide through security with your prescriptions in hand and anxiety at bay. Let's start with the single biggest rule for traveling with medication. Never ever put your essential meds in checked baggage. I know, it's tempting to free up space in your carry-on, but think about it. What happens if your luggage gets lost, delayed, or rerouted to another country? You're not just missing socks, you could be missing life-sustaining medicine. That's a nightmare you do not want to live through. Now here's the thing. TSA does allow you to travel with medications in both pill and liquid form, and they can be in reasonable quantities that exceed the usual 3.4-ounce liquid limit if they're medically necessary. But here's where people mess up. They pack their meds without declaring them, or they put them in a jumble at the bottom of their bag. That slows down security and raises unnecessary questions. So here's your first big win for a stress-free journey. Keep them in your carry-on and keep them organized. Think of your carry-on as your mobile pharmacy. Pills can go in their original prescription bottles or clearly labeled organizers, and liquids should be in leak-proof containers, ideally with the pharmacy label still attached. And yes, this applies to all kinds of medication: prescription drugs, over-the-counter pain relievers, inhalers, insulin, EpiPens, even vitamins and supplements. If it's important for your health, it belongs with you, not under the plane. Quick pro tip, when you go through security, be proactive. If you're carrying liquid meds, tell the TSA officer right away. Don't wait for them to ask. Say something like, "I have medically necessary liquids in my bag." It's quick, it's clear, and it avoids awkward last-minute explanations. And one more thing, carrying your meds with you doesn't just protect you from lost luggage, it also keeps them safe from extreme temperatures in the cargo hold. Some medications, like insulin, can be ruined if they freeze or get too hot. In the cabin, you control where they are and what conditions they're in. Bottom line, your health is non-negotiable. Keep your medication close and you'll start your trip with one less thing to worry about. All right, here's one that trips a lot of travelers up, literally and figuratively. You've got your pills ready to go, but do you keep them in the original pharmacy bottles? Or do you dump them into one of those handy little pill organizers? TSA doesn't actually require you to keep them in their original packaging, which surprises a lot of people. In fact, you could technically carry a plastic bag full of pills through security. But do you really want to be that person explaining a mystery bag of tablets to an officer at 6 a.m.? Here's the reality. Keeping pills in their original labeled bottles is the safest move. Why? Because it instantly answers the unspoken question in a TSA agent's mind. What is this? If the label clearly shows your name, the medication name, and dosage, you've already removed suspicion. The inspection takes seconds and you're on your way. Those bulky bottles take up space, and if you're traveling for weeks, carrying multiples can feel like you're hauling a mini pharmacy. So, if you do choose to use a pill organizer or a smaller container, here's the smart way to do it. Keep your prescription slip or a doctor's note with you. That way, if anyone asks, you've got proof that these aren't random pills. You're just trying to pack efficiently, and this isn't just about airport security. Think about customs checks when you land in another country. Some nations are strict about certain medications, even common ones like codeine or pseudoephedrine, and they may want proof you're authorized to have them. Having the label or prescription slip in hand could be the difference between a smooth entry and a confiscation nightmare. A quick pro tip? Separate your daily use medications from your just-in-case ones. Keep the daily essentials right where you can grab them, maybe in a side pocket of your carry-on, so you don't have to dig through your whole bag at security. Now let's talk about the rule that trips up almost every traveler: liquids. You've heard it a million times. TSA's 3.4 ounces or 100 milliliters limit for anything liquid, gel, or aerosol in your carry-on. And yes, it's strict unless we're talking about medically necessary liquids. Here's the good news. If you're traveling with liquid medications, whether that's insulin, prescription cough syrup, liquid antibiotics, or even saline for contacts, the 3.4 ounce rule doesn't apply. These items are officially exempt. You just have to do one very important thing: declare them. When you walk up to the checkpoint, don't wait for an officer to ask. Take them out of your bag and tell the TSA agent these are liquid medications. This simple move instantly sets the tone for a smoother screening. TSA will either run them through the X-ray or do a quick hand inspection. Sometimes they'll even swab the outside to check for residue. The whole process is usually over in a couple of minutes. Now, here's where travelers sometimes get it wrong. They pack these medications deep inside their bags, under their laptop, snacks, chargers, and headphones. Then, when TSA needs to check, you're unpacking half your life on that conveyor belt while the line behind you sighs loudly. Don't do that to yourself. Keep your liquid medications in a clear, resealable bag right at the top of your carry-on. Quick to access, quick to repack. Also, remember, liquid covers more than you think. Some gels, creams, and even certain inhalers can count as liquids in TSA's eyes. If you're unsure, treat them as liquids and declare them. Better safe than sorry. And here's another key point. While TSA's rules are consistent across U.S. airports, foreign airports may have different procedures. Some countries will still allow medical liquids above the standard limit, but you might need a doctor's note or prescription to prove they're essential. Always check the rules of both your departure and arrival countries before you fly. Let's be honest, digging through your carry-on for medication while everyone in the security line is glaring at you is not a good look. That's why travel pros swear by one simple trick: have a dedicated, easy access system for your meds. First, get yourself a quality pill case or travel pill organizer. The kind with compartments for each day, or even morning and evening slots, keeps you on track and prevents those "wait, did I take this already?" moments mid-trip. But here's the golden rule. Even if you're using an organizer, always bring the original prescription bottles or packaging. Why? Because if security, customs, or even a curious airline agent asks, you can instantly prove the medication is yours and legally prescribed. A clearly labeled pharmacy container is your credibility card. Now, if you're traveling with refrigerated medications like certain injectables, insulin, or liquid antibiotics, you've got a few extra considerations. First, forget the giant hard-sided cooler. This isn't a camping trip. Instead, invest in a compact, soft-sided cooler bag designed for medical travel. Pair it with TSA-friendly freezer packs, the kind that won't melt into a puddle mid-flight, to keep your meds chilled for hours without leaking or making a mess. A pro tip? Keep these coolers in your carry-on, not your checked luggage. Luggage can sit in extreme heat or cold on the tarmac, and you don't want to discover your medication has spoiled before you've even left the airport. Also, if your trip is longer than the cooler's chill time, research your layover and destination airports to see if they have medical refrigeration services. Many larger airports do, but it's something you want to confirm in advance, not when you're standing there with a warm insulin vial. One last storage hack: keep your meds together but not crammed in with liquids, snacks, or electronics. If TSA needs to inspect them, you want a quick, clean grab, not a juggling act. Think of your medication kit like your passport. It's essential, personal, and something you want ready at a moment's notice. With a little smart storage, you'll glide through security, keep your meds safe, and avoid travel headaches altogether. When it comes to traveling with medication, here's a simple mantra: pack what you need, plus a small safety cushion. That means enough for your trip, and maybe a day or two extra in case your return gets delayed. Why? Flights get canceled, weather happens, and sometimes your 5-day trip turns into a surprise 7. The last thing you want is to be stuck in a hotel room Googling nearest pharmacy in a country where you don't speak the language. But here's where it gets interesting. If you're traveling with more than a 90-day supply of any prescription medication, you might be stepping into red tape territory. Many countries see that as stockpiling, and customs could flag it. So have your paperwork ready: doctor's note, prescription details, dosage instructions, even a translation if you're headed somewhere non-English speaking. That documentation can be the difference between a smooth entry and a very awkward conversation with border officials. Now let's talk about controlled substances. If your prescription is for something that's considered a controlled drug, think certain painkillers, ADHD meds or anxiety medications, be ready for extra scrutiny. Different countries have different rules, and some don't allow certain medications at all without advance approval. In some places, carrying a controlled substance without permission can lead to fines or even arrest. Yeah, this is not the kind of souvenir you want from your vacation. Injectable medications like insulin or Ozempic come with their own set of challenges. You'll need the original packaging, pharmacy label, and proof it's prescribed to you. And because injections often need special storage, plan ahead, especially if you'll be in transit for more than a few hours. TSA and Customs generally understand, but it's on you to keep it safe and properly stored. Another pro tip: if your medication is expensive or hard to replace, contact your insurance company before you travel. Some will cover lost meds overseas, but only if you've notified them beforehand. Headed overseas? Here's something most travelers overlook: your perfectly legal prescription at home might be totally banned somewhere else. And I'm not just talking about exotic destinations. Even a short layover in another country can land you in trouble if your medication is on their restricted list. For example, ADHD stimulants like Adderall or Ritalin are routine in the US, but in countries like Japan and the UAE, they're tightly controlled or outright prohibited. The same goes for certain strong painkillers, sleep aids, or anti-anxiety meds. So before you pack, look up your destination's official customs or health ministry website. Don't just skim it. Read carefully, because rules can differ even between pills, liquids, and injectables. If you're unsure, call the country's embassy for confirmation. And here's a key move: travel with a doctor's note in English. Include your full name, the medication's generic name, since brand names can vary, the dosage, and your diagnosis. This isn't just for customs, it's also a safety net if you need to refill abroad or explain your meds in an emergency. If airport security makes you nervous, especially when traveling with medical gear, there's a program you should know about: TSA Cares. Call them at least 72 hours before your flight, and you'll get a personal guide through the screening process. Whether it's medication, refrigerated items, syringes, mobility aids, insulin pumps, or even surgical implants, they'll walk you through exactly what to expect. You can also request a passenger support specialist to meet you at the checkpoint. They'll help explain your situation to officers, making everything faster and less stressful. This service is especially useful if you're traveling for the first time with sensitive medical devices, or if you've had bad experiences with security in the past. One quick tip: be upfront. The more TSA knows before you arrive, the smoother the process will be. Think of TSA Cares as your VIP pass for hassle-free, respectful screening. If you have diabetes, preparation is everything. Pack more medication and supplies than you think you'll need, and use cooler packs to keep insulin stable. Carry quick diabetes-friendly snacks for blood sugar dips, and keep an empty water bottle to fill after security. Account for time zone changes. Adjust your meal and medication schedule so your body stays in balance. And above all, stay hydrated throughout your trip. With a clear plan and all essentials close at hand, you'll breeze through airport security confidently and keep your health on track wherever your journey takes you. If you found this guide useful, hit like and subscribe for more Traveler Smart tips that keep you from sweating the small stuff. Pack confidently, skip the hassle, and get where you're going in control, ready for what's next.